Okay, I'm working on this extremely late this week, so I need to get going with this and slam it out. Shit, what do we want to talk about, huh? I've got some ideas, let's try something out.
David, you okay? You seem to be in a panic.
Yeah, I honestly found myself writing this script way too late, so now I'm panic recording right before going into my casual job. I've also been fighting with my own company accounts, realizing that I ain't got a clue how Twitter works, so I'm fighting that.
David, stop, breathe, calm down. What did you want to talk about today?
Yeah, calm. Had a good weekend. Can't really talk much about it, other than the city of Ocala is actually a pretty nice city. But unfortunately, I can't really talk much about it unless I get a green flag from Warpfire Miniatures, which I won't go out of my way to get a flag for. Honestly though, having had a quick conversation with who I assume to be the owner on Saturday when my buddy and I were there, we found out there was a competition going on, and there was some beautiful models in cases, on tables, and on more. It's a great store, and you can buy models from there online or in store, and their point system is great. But this video, how about... You know what? I recently bought a Kill Team box called the Phobos Strike Team, Space Marine Vanguard Specialist. This one box with 10 models that can make 2, arguably 3 40k units. You can make 10 infiltrators, 10 incursors, or 5 of each, which both of those units can be brought in groups of 5 or 10, or you can combine them into one Spectra skill team. These boxes are almost $70 US, since Kill Team boxes now come with punch tokens for the tabletop game. We won't be talking about the Kill Team version since I've only played Kill Team once, and I just don't know the game well enough to talk about. But who are these guys? These Space Marines are Phobos Armored Stealth Boys. Both of them are about getting in, getting a job done, and getting out. They are not primarily killers, but saboteurs. Let's look at them in alphabetical order in their codexes and indexes. Space Marines, Incursor Squad. 2 ranged weapons, a bolt pistol and an Oculus bolt carbine, with assaults and ignores cover on the carbine. Neither of these firearms are much good. Melee weapons are paired combat blades with sustained hits. All these weapons are 4 strength and deal 1 damage, with 1 AP on the blades. Attack characteristics of 1 on the pistol, 2 on the carbine, and 3 on the blades. Those weapons are rather bad. This is not a killing group on the table, but their ability makes them more worth it, and 1 more equipment block as well. Let's look at the abilities real quick. Scout 6. They can move 6 inches before the first command phase. If you're going first, this can get these boys into the mid-objective. With an OC of 1, not great, but some leaders and enhancements can make this even better. A good early capture can really help under certain missions, primary and secondary. The datasheet ability ties closely with the faction ability. Multi-spectrum array. If this unit shoots a guy, every other Astartes in your army gets a +1 to hit. Add in Oath of Moment, this can essentially guarantee hits, but not necessarily kills. Of course, there's also the War Gear abilities. Most armies don't have a whole lot of these. Essentially, if a kill team has some extra models like the Skull and Book for the Inquisitorial Agents, they'll figure out how to utilize it to mark a once per battle ability. In this case, the Incursor squad, we've got the Haywire Mine. Once per battle at the start of any phase, you can select one enemy within 3 inches of the bearer and roll 1d6. On a 2+, that enemy suffers a d3 mortal wounds, or 2d3 if they're a vehicle. Now, only one model in the army can have this war gear, and this war gear ability only works when an enemy is close to the one with it. This unit, weirdly enough, is a viable night killer, somehow. But you can also make infiltrators with this kit set. They also have similar but very different rules as the Incursors, and weapons too. They got the bolt pistol and the marksman bolt carbine. Each other has 3 ballistics, 4 strength, 0 AP, 1 damage, with the pistol getting 1 attack and the carbine getting 2, the carbine also having the heavy ability. Melee is the close combat weapon with 3 attacks, everything else the same as the pistol, but no abilities whatsoever. So already worse for the attacks, but their job is not to be a killer. Their ability supports this a lot. Their core ability is infiltrators. They can set up in the midfield, letting them capture objectives or set up for certain goals very easily and quickly, so long as they're so far away from enemy deployments. But their datasheet ability, that's where things get spicy. Omni Scramblers make it so things getting in with Deep Strike or coming in from reserves can't set up within 12 inches of this unit. Every model in this unit. With 10 models, you could stretch them across the board so long as each model is within 2 inches of 2 or more models in the unit, and cover your entire deployment zone, really. But one model in this unit can be equipped with the Helix Gauntlet or Infiltrator Comms Array. One or the other, not both. The Helix Gauntlet gives the unit a feel no plane of 6+, while the ICA gives you a chance to gain 1 command point when using a stratagem on this unit. Only on a 5+, not really worth it. FNP is just too good, especially for a unit that can stop deep strikes. Of course, there's a third version of this unit now. For the Death Watch, the Spectrus kill team defaults with the assumption of 10 infiltrators, but you can easily put in some Incursors or some Eliminators. In a casual game, I don't know if anyone really cares if you actually have the models, especially given how insane it is to fill out certain kill teams. So many units come in boxes of 3, but we'll ignore that shit. They get both infiltrators and the scout abilities, so they could legitimately drop in a sprint through and possibly get into the enemy deployment zone, though I think there's a rule that prevents that before round 1. They get the Spectrus Doctrines, which lets them go into strategic reserves if they're more than 6 inches away from an enemy at the end of your opponent's turn. They have no deep strike, keep in mind, so they can't drop into the middle of the field, only within so far from the battlefield edge. Honestly, losing the anti-deep strike is a major loss. They still get 2 war gear options, the Helix Gauntlet and the ICA, both doing the exact same thing as the other version did. There's also the ability to take the Instigator Bolt Carbine from the Eliminator, which allows your unit to move, shoot, move, which is also great. This unit is a bit better at doing killing though, not near as much as some kill teams. The fact that you can bring in the Eliminators and Snipers to deal with enemy characters a lot better is great. Though neither Space Marines nor Death Watch have any reason to focus on warlord killing aside from preventing secret objectives, which I've never seen anyone use ever. Honestly, the fact that the Death Watch can't use scout units makes this unit rather good. Add in the fact that you can count as having 9 different units using this one box in one army, and now I want to see how that would work, so shove off.